Good day! Welcome to Learning Module in Health 9, Lesson 2. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to 1. Enumerate the different community health problems. 2. Recognize the value produced by a healthy environment. Lesson 2. My community and environmental responsibility. But before we start our discussion, let's try to answer this pre-test. Multiple choice. Read the statements carefully and choose the best answer by shading the circle that corresponds to the statement. Number 1. Includes the process called composting. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. The correct answer is number 2. Means avoiding accumulating waste. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. And the correct answer is number 3. Minimizing the waste. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. The answer is number 4. Turning waste into another material for another purpose. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. And the correct answer is number 5. Using the same material for the same purpose. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. The correct answer is can you still remember our last lesson? To check, kindly bring out your notebook and ballpen and answer this activity. Arrange the jumbled letters to reveal the correct answer, which will appear after the beat. Number 1. Define as the art and science of maintaining, protecting, and improving the health of all the members of the community through organized and sustained community efforts. And the correct answer is community health. Number 2. It is the immediate surroundings of the living things. And the correct answer is environment. Number 3. It is defined as a sociological group in a large place sharing one environment. And the correct answer is community. Number 4. It focuses on how different environmental factors affect the well-being of a person. And the correct answer is environmental health. Number 5. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not just the absence of disease or infirmity. And the correct answer is health. How can we protect our environment? Protecting the environment. Protecting the environment starts with personal responsibility and social consciousness. Personal environmental responsibility refers to the awareness of one's roles in keeping a healthy community and environment. Social consciousness refers to the awareness of what is currently happening around you and being able to critically reflect on how to respond to them. These are the examples on how to protect the environment. Practice proper waste management. Do not perform activities that may damage or destroy the environment. Keep things in their natural environment. If going on a nature trip or visit, stay on trails. And also, stay informed about current environmental issues and problems. Initiate actions that promote the protection of the environment. Encourage other people to take part in the efforts to protect the environment. You can also participate in local and national efforts for the protection and preservation of the environment. And last in our list, spearhead environmental projects. And now, let's talk about solid waste management. The main cause of land pollution is improper solid waste management. Waste management refers to the collection, handling, and disposal of waste. These wastes are brought to a landfill. Landfills are home to disease-causing organisms that may contaminate the land, air, and water. To practice solid waste management, the following procedures must be followed. Proper disposal. Proper disposal is described as the responsible removal and transfer of waste. An example of proper waste disposal practice is waste segregation. It is defined as a means to divide the waste into different classifications. Some waste are biodegradable. This means that they decompose and disappear in the environment naturally. Waste segregation facilities garbage collection. Waste segregation allows the person to properly manage waste. Some waste may still be reused or recycled for other purposes. If wastes are segregated, there is less cost in the disposal system. Hazardous waste from hospital and manufacturing industries. If they mix other waste, they might cause contamination. The use of 5 R's. Instead of disposing the waste, there are other things that you can do to properly manage them. Their ways are represented by the acronym 5R. This stands for refuse, means avoiding accumulating waste. Reduce, it means minimizing the waste. Reuse means using the same material for the same purpose. For example, soft drink companies buy back empty bottles to be used again instead of manufacturing a new ones. Recycle means turning waste into another material for another purpose. And rot includes the process called composting.
Part of social consciousness is being aware of the policies and laws that protect the environment. It is the Department of Environment and Natural Resources that enforces the environmental laws and spearheads the programs that aim to protect and preserve the environment. Republic Act Number 9003, also known as Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. This law requires the local government units, barangays, to conduct segregation and collect solid waste. There is a mandate to classify waste and biodegradable, compostable, and reusable. Republic Act Number 8749, also known as the Philippine Clear Air Act of 1999. This law states that the government shall promote and protect the environment and people from air pollution. Any person, group, or company found guilty of being air polluter shall be fined. Republic Act Number 9275, also known as the Philippine Clean Water Act 2004. This law regulates the water quality management of the bodies of water in the country. It enforces the standards and policies on water quality. It also penalizes a person, group, or company guilty of water pollution. Republic Act Number 6969, also known as Toxic Substance and Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Act of 1990. This law establishes rules and regulations on proper disposal and management of hazardous chemical waste. Republic Act Number 7942, also known as the Philippine Mining Act of 1995. This law regulates mining activities in the country. It promotes rational exploration of mineral resources but with consideration to the environment and people living in the communities to be affected. Republic Act Number 9175, also known as Chainsaw Act of 2002. This act regulates the ownership, possession, sale, and importation of chainsaws in the country. Chainsaws are used to deforestation activities. Any unauthorized person caught in possession of this equipment shall be penalized.
Upon listening to the lecture, do you already have an idea about your roles in the community? If so, use that idea to answer this activity. Activity number 1. Take part. Explain the role of oneself, community, and government in the protection and preservation of the environment. Write your answer under the correct column. Now, let's proceed to activity number 2. 5 R's. Study the following materials, identify a waste management strategy to use, and explain how you will implement the strategy. To summarize the lesson, let's do this activity. Multiple choice. Read the statements carefully and choose the letter that corresponds to the statement. You'll be given 10 seconds for each item to answer. Are you ready? Let's start!
You will need your notebook and ball pen on this part. Write a reflection on the things you learned in this lesson and their relevance to you. Tell how you can apply what you learned in your daily life and cite specific instances in which you feel these learnings will come handy.
To further check how much you learned from this lesson, let's have a post test. Multiple choice. Read the statements carefully and choose the best answer by shading the circle that corresponds to the statement. Number 1. Includes the process called composting. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. The correct answer is number 2. Means avoiding accumulating waste. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. And the correct answer is number 3. Minimizing the waste. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. The answer is number 4. Turning waste into another material for another purpose. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. And the correct answer is number 5. Using the same material for the same purpose. A. Recycle. B. Reduce. C. Refuse. And D. Rot. The correct answer is
I hope you learned something from today's lesson. See you!